What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sporgo, and we are back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. And in anticipation for the upcoming Fallen Star event, I thought we'd have a little fun with some testing with some memory sets on certain characters in Pain Cage to see which is actually the best method or the best way to really approach Phantom Pain Cage. Now, there's all kinds of different team compositions that you're going to use depending on which of these bosses you're going to face, because they have certain weaknesses to certain types of elements or maybe even certain types of characters. But we're going to be actually taking on Nozzle here on Chaos, and Nozzle's actually weak to fire, so really S. Karenina is going to be your number one for this. A. Lee is going to be really good. He's 40% fire. Even B. Lucia, who's 20% fire, can actually be really good. A. Karenina, who's 20% fire, actually isn't too bad either, but S. Karenina is going to be number one. However, I don't have her, and my A. Lee isn't really built up, so we're just going to go with Alpha because she can actually do more damage than they can. So that's who we're going to be doing the testing with. Now, we're going to be doing two different things. We're going to use the same team members, but what we're going to do is we're going to do Run, where we're going to have B-Liv in the blue spot, and we're going to have Nanami in the yellow spot. And then we're going to do another run where B-Nanami is going to be in the blue spot, and Liv's going to be in the yellow slot. We're going to switch out memories for doing this. Now, both times, whoever's in this blue slot, we're going to be using a Davinci set. Now, however, if it's on B-Liv here, we're going to have the Davinci set with the Phillips set here that actually increases the target's physical damage by 10%, defense by 10% for 5 seconds whenever she does a heal. So that works really well with B-Liv. However, for B-Nanami here, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different where, we'd have the Davinci set on her, but then we'd also have the Catherine set on her. So instead of the Phillips set for B-Nanami, because it won't work because B-Nanami doesn't do a heal, we're going to be using the Catherine set, which whenever you do your QTE, it reduces the target's physical defense by 20% for 8 seconds, which is pretty insane, right? So keep in mind, one run you're going to see, I'm going to have the Davinci set on B-Nanami with the Catherine set. The other run you're going to see, she's going to have this set up right here. And then B-Liv here in one run is going to have this setup exactly as you see it right now. And then she's also going to have 2 Richelieu sets. She's going to have 2 of these memories right here, which, with a 2-piece set, when QT is triggered, the construct on the field gains 10% attack and 20% defenses for, I'm sorry, wrong one. Whenever she does a healing effect, increased by 5%. Next healing effect increases the target's physical damage by 8%. So she'll have a 2-piece set of those. She's going to have a 2-piece set of these right here as well, the 2 Phillips. With the healing effect increased by 10%. Next healing effect increased target's physical damage by 10%. And then we're also going to have a 2-piece Voltaire set. Now, B-Liv does do a little bit of damage. It's a short, small burst of damage when she does her QT. Very little, but she does do a little bit of damage. And when she does do that, the attacks reduce the target's defenses by 10% for 5 seconds on a 12-second cooldown. So we're just going to see which of these methods is actually better. Whoever's in the blue spot, that's what, I'm always going to have the Davinci set on that character, because whenever you're playing with Alpha, you want to be using her blue orbs to trigger the sword wave. That's where all of her damage lies. So that's what you're always trying to accomplish, and whenever you do the Davinci set or use the Davinci set, whenever we hit our blue orbs, then we can actually trigger the set and actually trigger our other QTE for our other character. That way we can bring in both characters simultaneously and get this, if all 3 constructs are on the field, we get this attack increased by 20%, which is nuts. I mean, that is a lot of extra damage. So the first round I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to have B-Nanami in the blue slot, and B-Nanami is going to have the Davinci set on her with the 2 Catherines, and then B-Liv here is going to have the 2 Richelieus, the 2 Voltaires, and the 2 Phillips. So let me pull up that run and let's see how well we did here. So with these runs, it always really depends on the orbs that are going to be coming out. I did do this about 10 times for each of these teams, each of these setups, to see how well we could do here. Now I'm just going to keep Alpha in there pretty much the whole time. Try to avoid any kind of damage from this guy because that will decrease our score. And all I'm trying to do right now is I'm just trying to build up my orbs. You want to do things, whenever you play with Alpha, you always want to do things in long bursts. You want to build as many of those orbs as you can. And the next time we trigger the Matrix, we're going to trigger the blue orb, and then we're going to go into our sword wave. Now I triggered the red orbs because my Alpha is at SS tier, so that means whenever we trigger 3 red orbs, we actually get an extra 10% physical damage. There we go. And I'm just going to do a little extra damage. There we go. Pretty quick. So let's see what kind of score we got with B-Nanami having the Davinci set with the Catherines, and Liv having all the 3 different 2-pieces on her. So we got 91,786 in that run, which is pretty decent. That's not too bad at all. So now let's see what happens whenever we put Liv in the blue slot, and Liv's going to have the Davinci set on her with the Phillips set, and now Nanami is going to have the 4-piece Hannah set with the Catherine set. Now keep in mind the Hannah set doesn't really come into play unless you're actually using Nanami and actually playing with her, but I definitely find that I do a lot more damage if I just keep Alpha in there the whole time. I mean, you could definitely switch up your teams. You could do different leaderships. I know some people like to put Nanami in the leadership, but I really like having that extra attack and crit from Alpha in the leadership. So let's go ahead and pull up that run. All right, here we go. And I'm going to try to play this exactly the same. We're just going to use Alpha. And again, I tried this like 10 times a piece. And we're just going to keep Alpha in the whole time and try to avoid taking any damage from Nozzle here. And we're just going to try to build up her orbs, strike a whole bunch of times. Build up as many orbs as we can, so that way we get a long burst of sword waves all at once. All right, nice, nice. Doing good, doing good. And, Nozzle does have a life draining effect in here. That's why I am losing life as we're playing this. And there we go. See all them sword waves? That's what you want whenever you're playing with Alpha, man. You want as many of those things as possible so you can do as much damage as possible. And boom. And we ended up with another sword wave here. And then boom shakalaka. Pretty easy for the most part with Alpha. Not a big problem. Let's see what kind of score we got. Okay, so I mean 91, almost 92,000. So I mean the scores are virtually the same. Like there's not a whole lot of difference between these scores. So, you could build these characters, you could build Nanami and Liv either way, and they're going to do just fine for you, right? I mean, this is really the ideal team for your physical team, to take on Pancage with. I mean, again, Alpha really isn't the one really for Nozzle, but I just wanted to experiment a little bit, switch around memories on some characters, put characters in different slots to see how well they perform. And really with this method, it's virtually the same. It really is going to depend on your orb management and of course how well you can play and how lucky you are as far as getting your orbs. But I will say this, with the team you're looking at right now, with having the Davinci set on Liv and having the Hannah set and the Catherine set on Nanami, I definitely seem to do a little bit more consistent damage. It seems to be a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not really sure why that is, but I just seem to have more luck doing more damage that way, because either way, you're bringing in both characters at the same time doing their QTEs. I mean, really the biggest difference is, you got the Hannah on Nanami, but she isn't really going to benefit from that. But whenever you switch the teams around, you're going to benefit a little bit more from Liv when she does her QTE, because all of her memories actually will benefit her. So it really depends on how you look at this as to, which is really the better way to go. And some people like to put Liv in the leadership and then put Nanami in the blue, and then just start with Liv, switch to Nanami, try to get blue orbs for Nanami, use her blue orbs. That way you can decrease the defenses of the boss. Hurry up and switch to Alpha, hopefully go into your sword waves immediately. But that method really works the best whenever you have a Frederick set on Alpha. It's just a much better burst damaging set, memory set for her rather than the pattern. I definitely find that whenever I use Alpha in the leadership and I either do, like this setup or this setup right here, I definitely seem to do more consistent damage, at least for me in the testing that I've done. Let me know in the comments, what you like to do as far as getting the most damage on your team compositions. And I do realize for Liv, there was a BP difference between the memory sets that I had on them. But, I didn't really have the resources to level up all those other memories. I've leveled up all the 6-star memories that I need for my physical damage dealing team, and have been getting other memories leveled up in preparation for Dark Watanabe's team. So let me know how y'all doing in the game. Let me know if you're excited for Fallen Star event. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.